around you sound just as good. Does that make sense? So guys, as you are developing, as we're going through this information, I know that yesterday you had, Matt started off and took you guys through credit piece, right? So, right? Yes. We went through credit, right? Matt trained us on credit.
Yeah.
Yes, these are those moments, guys, because the reason I'm stressing that you do that, because for some reason, agents forget when they get to the floor. And if it's something that you've been trained on, regardless on if you remember the training or not, because we're talking about two different things. Was I trained on this versus do I remember what I was trained is two different things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if a person asks you, and this is what we're talking about when we say that credibility and you know, and just that sense of integrity. Because guys, as a trainer, as a person that's in this occupation that does this, I know the time and effort that Matt puts in to prepare himself to train you. So it'll be just like you putting forth your effort in a job and somebody says, well, did they do that? And the person says, no, or they don't say anything. So does that make sense? So regardless, so if you don't remember it, that's a different thing. Just say, I was trained on that, but I forgot some of it. So does that make sense? Yeah. Fantastic. So, Matt went through credit training yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Fantastic. Yeah, see, it feels better when you say it. Yeah. And some of you have awesome smiles. Use them more often. Use your smiles more often, even when you're sitting. I'm going to give you this one for free. Every day is an interview. Every day is an interview. You never know the individual that's walking into that door. How I see you looking in here can base how I feel that you will manage my floor out there. If you're not engaged in here and you say, hey, I want to be a supervisor, the last impression that I have of you is going to pop up in my mind, right?
Yeah.
And if my last impression was supervisor, I want to be a trainer. You know, so just remember that. I'm going to give you that one for free. Every day is an interview when you come here, guys, because I heard them talk about it. Things happen fast. Transitions happen fast to where we need to bring in more people. The floor needs more help. Like there's a head count ratio. A supervisor can only manage so many agents, but we have to have another supervisor. So keep those things in mind, okay? All right, so credit 101. And Matt, if you will, you drive for me. So we'll figure out us a driving key. Do you want the single pistol to the turn? You want the double pistol? You want the head nod? Wink?
No, that's the
Just a one? One?
No wink.
One pistol? That was kind of hard. You saw it difficult for me,
Yeah,
right?
that is kind of hard for you to do.
You know, it's like, I have wink, you know, that would make me feel funny. So, all right, guys, credit 101. The reason guys are calling this credit 101 is because as an individual, talk to me, builders. As an individual, you have to be able to have a fundamental knowledge of what it is you're doing. The occupation and the field that you're working in. Does that make sense? Okay, because you have to have that, that does not make you a credit expert. Everyone say, raise your right hand. I state your name. It's one in every group. It's one in every group. I state your name. Am not a credit expert. But however, Wesley looks amazing today.
I am a fashion expert.
Thank you. But understand, guys, really, you're not a credit expert. A credit expert is a licensed occupation that, based upon the advice and the insight that that person provides, you know, that person can be sued. So you're not that. Now, we have a credit expert team of individuals that take it a step further, but they're still not licensed. They give deeper general information. What your job is to remind and to educate. The educate piece is to educate about our products. Matt said it wonderfully yesterday. Our customers really aren't angry customers. They're customers who really have either forgotten why they signed up, forgotten what we offer, or more so don't even know what we offer, because the person, they were calling in for their credit scores and reports. They got their credit scores and reports. Now, I don't need it anymore. You know, it's just like drinking a can of soda. You know, you drink the drink, throw the bottle away. So with that concept, but we have to let them understand that there's more to the soda. So there's more to the mix, okay? And your job is to do that. It's not to sell the product. Marketing take care of that. We have a team of people in Dallas that we pay a lot of money to take care of selling the product. Your job, so like, I want to kind of take that burden off of you to make sure that, like, you're not, I gotta sell. You don't. You have to remind and you have to educate. Because the moment that you remind a person, oh yeah, I did sign up for your service because I was in the process of buying a car. Oh my God, fantastic, buying a car can be awesome. I remember when I was buying a car and I had to fill out a bunch of applications and put my social security number down there, all of my income information, my wife's information, then I passed that application to a person and I'm hoping that he filed it away. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So that's that kind of conversation that you're having. Make sense?
Yep.
All right, so credit 101. We'll go with the figure here. All right, get it again for me. Guys, learning objectives. In Credit 101 training, we will explore the following, and we will explore these at a quick pace because you've already gone through them, and what I'm doing in this section is just inspecting what I'm expecting. So I'm expecting that you took time to listen yesterday, so I'm just inspecting what you were already wonderfully trained on. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, so Ashley, tell me what we will be going over today.
What is credit?
Uh-huh.
How is credit reported?
Uh-huh.
What information is on a credit report?
Uh-huh.
What shouldn't be on a credit report?
Absolutely.
What is a good credit score?
That's
Why
so
is a
important.
good credit important?
Uh-huh.
What is credit score?
We need to know that.
Why do credit scores vary?
People ask me that all the time.
Importance of monitoring credit report and credit scores.
And that's something that Liz wanted to know. She told me earlier. So we got to talk about all that kind of stuff. All right, so make sure I get to that for Liz.
Okay.
Gotcha. Thank you. All right, so guys, listen. As we're going through this information, go ahead, man. You know, somebody tell me, what is credit? What is credit? Talk to me.
Credit is a means of obtaining goods and services to use, say, without having to pay the full purchase price up front.
Thank you. See how easy that is? Like, it's right there. And everybody was like, people will start turning. Oh, man, did talk about that yesterday. What did he say? Look, I know it's credit is when I walk into Walmart and I know I want the TV, but I ain't got the money to get the TV, so I got to do something, figure out how to get the TV, and I fill out the application. The answer's right there, people. Look at the screen. When Matt is going through a lot of the information, look at the screen. The answer is right there in front of you. Get in the habit of looking at the screen. You have to be two types of assessor. How many ears do you have? How many mouths do you have? That's to listen more and talk less. So as you're listening, how many eyes do you have? How many mouths do you have? That's to see more and talk less. So as you're on the call, you're listening to the customer. You're looking at the account so you can know what you need to say. Make sense? If you're doing more talking than listening and looking, 9 times out of 10, you mess it up. Thank you for that, Kate. Go ahead, Matt. All right. There are 3 main types of credit. Jack, tell me about revolving credit, because I know you know what it is. You got a jacket on and it looked like you know.
It's typically offered by credit card companies. This line of credit can be used over and over again as long as you make the minimum payments.
Revolving credit, guys, those credit cards. As long as you pay that, you know, you got that $5,000 limit, but they tell you all you gotta do is just spend $15 a month. And you have it for the rest of your life. All that kind of stuff. That's that revolving credit. So does that make sense? Understand, these are questions, guys, that you won't necessarily get into, but you need to be confident in how to respond if need be. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, like, we're going over this information not for you to remember it. All right, I need everybody to write this down real quick. All right, we're gonna press pause on this. Everybody press pause. This your remote. This your remote. This your remote. Press pause. Press pause. All right, so give me a sheet of paper. Sheet of paper and you write on something. You put it on there. That's a great place to put it on your name tag. Where'd it go, Jackson? You got that blaze on for a reason. All right, so guys, put it on a piece of paper. The model that I'm getting ready to give you right now is called a learning model. It's a learning model, okay? It's a learning model. And it's called a chasm. Everyone say a chasm.
A chasm.
Say it again, a chasm.
A chasm.
I'm sorry. And it's AKSM. Everybody write down AKSM. See how your trainer's prepared? He's ready, guys. Top tier trainer, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go get you one. So guys, a chasm. The A in the model stands for awareness. Everyone say awareness.
Awareness.
For example, 3 weeks ago, I heard Matt ask you guys yesterday. Asked you guys this yesterday. How many of you had ever heard of like Score Sense or Wintech, you know? But now, can you say that you are aware of Score Sense?
Yes.
What awareness is, guys, is that, you know, have you ever had that situation happen like, man, I hadn't heard that somewhere before. I've seen you somewhere before. Awareness is that piece to where you put it, you filed it somewhere, but you just don't really know where you filed it. But you are aware of it, okay? What you're going through within these first couple of days of training is creating awareness. We want you to have a sense of awareness to where if a person says to you on a call, yes, I have these credit cards, this stubborn revolving line of credit that I'm trying to get paid off, you don't have deer in the head. Like, you're not stuck like, revolving, what are they talking about? So does that make sense? You're just aware of the conversation. Okay, the next letter in the model is K. The K stands for knowledge. Everyone say knowledge.
Knowledge.
What's important about knowledge?
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power, but let me, I love when people say that because, there's two sides to a coin, right? If Brian, I was trying to listen, you were in my eye the whole time. I was like, which one did that go? Did it go?
All day long. Everybody's got a little bit dyslexic in them. All day long.
So, Brian, and it was like, I was like, Brian. So, Brian, so let's say Brian has a lot of knowledge, right? Let's say Brian really knows a lot. But what makes his knowledge powerful? His ability to use it. Like, that's the piece. A lot of us know a lot of smart, lazy people. Like, we just know a person who's like real smart, don't have to study for tests. They just pass the test and just lazy. They don't really put forth the effort, really, of the insight that they have. So that knowledge, guys, is how you transfer that knowledge. What are you doing with that knowledge? So does that make sense? So your job, guys, is to think about your brain in the form of a recycle to where I have to pick up information about this campaign, what I'm doing, the field that I'm working in. I'm going to be talking about credit reports and scores. I'm going to be talking about finance. I'm going to be talking about buying homes, buying cars, and those type of things. So I need to become knowledgeable. Because of that, we have a tool that we help you with that, and it's called the knowledge base. Okay, Matt will get into more about the knowledge base, and it's a database, guys, set up just for you. That's one of the main pieces of the puzzle that I run up in Dallas. And we're getting ready to do another big revamp of it to make it more user-friendly and those things. So I want you to I'll say this about the knowledge base. It's like a Google. So if you want to know, how do I respond to a refund? You'll just type in, how do I respond to a refund? And it'll give you how you respond to a refund. If a customer asks me, why are my scores different? Type it in, you'll be able to know how to respond. All right, so does that make sense? All right, the next letter in the model is S. S stands for skill. You develop a skill through repetition, guys. Repetition. You will not become skillful at this until you get to nesting. Until you get to nesting, so you can start taking calls. I want everyone to say this. It's okay to mess up.
It's okay to mess up.
Okay, go and get that out the way. That's like Matt needs you to mess up in nesting. That's where the mess up needs to happen. So he can fix the problem before you go into production. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's okay to mess up. So you become skilled when you do it over and over and over and over again. When you tie your shoe, how many of you still think about when you actually tie your shoe? Right over left, loop-de-loop, bunny ears, bring it through. Or do you just tie your shoe? Because you've created muscle memory. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The M in the model stands for mastery. Mastery doesn't happen until you can teach someone to do it better than you. Does that make sense? How many of you know about Kung Fu movies? The master says, snatch the pebble